We shot this music video with no budget and no crew, just my wife and I at home with an old iPhone. Over the years, I've produced dozens of no-budget DIY music videos clocking up hundreds of thousands of views, and today I'm going to show you exactly how you can shoot one too. So if you're a musician who wants to bring your music to life on video, but you've been held back by gear, budget, or experience, you're in the right place. Grab the free guide in the description. It's packed with everything I talk about today, plus some extra tips, and let's dive in. The first thing you want to do is pick a song. Now, this one might seem overly simple, but many people have this dream of shooting a music video, and they have this super complex, difficult song that they want to do. But my advice is to start with a simple song. If you're just beginning with music video production, then you have so many new things to be thinking about regarding the video production that it will be too overwhelming to be trying to master a complex song yet on top of that. Save the complex for when you have developed your video production skills a little further. Pick a song that you know well and are comfortable singing and playing. There's nothing wrong with doing a simple song to get started. Once you have your song picked, you will want to put some thought into planning the concept. Keep it simple. One location, one idea, and one emotion. And I recommend that you pick an outdoor location. Here's why. Lighting your video is one of the most important factors in how professional it will look, and it's much easier to get good lighting outside with no gear than it is inside with no gear. It is possible to do DIY lighting setups inside. It's just more complicated. More on that later. So find one outdoor location that matches the vibe and emotion of the song. Some people are unsure what sort of location even matches the vibe and emotion of a song, and there aren't really any hard and fast rules on this. It comes down to a personal preference thing. If you think it's a cool spot, then go for it. And at the end of the day, if you have a beautiful outdoor location, it can fit with almost any vibe and emotion if you film it and edit it properly. Also consider, will you tell a story or just focus on performance? Many music videos tell a story that goes with a song. This can be a great way to make your music video more powerful and connect with your audience. However, it also increases the complexity of the project. There is nothing wrong with just using performance shots for your first music video. After you have your concept planned, go over what gear you need and what you don't. And for this one, please use what you have. iPhones and Androids shoot in 4K. Use them. You can make some amazing looking music videos with a smartphone these days. A modern smartphone will have a sharper image than a Hollywood camera from a decade or two ago. You don't need a $3,000 camera. If you already happen to have a high-end camera, then by all means use that, but please don't go out and buy one. Your phone will work just fine to get you started. When it comes to gear, how you use it is more important than what gear you actually have. So master filmmaking with your smartphone before you go on and purchase a more expensive camera. You'll want either a friend to help you shoot or a tripod to hold your camera. And if you don't have a tripod, you can get by with a table or a stack of books to set your camera on. Get creative. I once set my camera on a toy truck and rolled it back and forth on a table to get that professional slider look. People might try to talk you into getting a gimbal, and I tell you, they are handy, but with the in-camera image stabilization that modern smartphones have, it's amazing what kind of footage you can get just shooting handheld. Depending on what type of music video you are shooting, you will want the handheld look for sure, but even if you're wanting those slow, silky smooth shots, it's amazing what you can do with just a smartphone if you know how to use it. You also need to think about lighting. If you shoot outdoors, you can use the sun as your light source and clouds, trees, and buildings as your diffusion. If you're shooting indoors, you will need some lights or else a large window or something to provide ambient lighting. Lighting indoors is a more advanced technique, so I suggest that you stick to outdoors for now. Make do with what you have to get started. Don't fall into the trap of thinking that more gear will somehow solve your problems. Learn to make a music video with just your phone before you purchase more advanced gear. And now finally, you are ready to advance to setting up and shooting your video. Before you hit record, check your camera settings. Most music videos are shot at 24 frames per second. If your camera has 4K, that's ideal, but 1080p will also suffice. If you are a beginner, shoot on auto mode for now, but if you do more of this, you will quickly want to learn to film on manual mode. Shooting on manual mode will give you much more control over your shot and enable you to expose it exactly how you want. Put some thought into lighting. Lighting is the single biggest factor on how professional your videos will look. The topic of lighting is a huge topic that is far beyond the scope of this video, but here are a few quick tips to get you started. The easiest option for beautiful lighting is to wait for a cloudy day and film outside. The clouds act as a giant softbox, diffusing the harsh light of the sun and making it beautiful. If you can't film on a cloudy day, then film in the shade. Shade can also give you beautiful lighting. Another option is filming in golden hour. That is the hour right after sunrise and the hour just before sunset when the sun is low in the sky. Avoid filming in direct sunlight if at all possible. Direct sunlight causes harsh shadows which look bad. If you must film in direct sunlight, then make sure the sun is behind your subject and then exposed for their face. Play your track over a phone or Bluetooth speaker and lip sync or sing along with it. Singing along will look more natural, but with a bit of practice, lip syncing can also work well. It's ideal to find a friend to help you film, or different band members can take turns filming each other on the close-up shots. I have shot whole music videos where I was in the band and also doing the filming. I had the camera on a tripod for the wide shots, and then the band members took turns filming each other on the close-ups. So it can work. Shoot all the way through the song multiple times. This will make your job easier when editing. Try to get a good variety of wide shots, medium shots, and close-ups. And try to get some camera movement in as well. This will, of course, depend on the vibe of the song, but having some push-in, pull-out, and parallax shots will make your video much more interesting. Depending on the song, shooting handheld and maybe even adding some intentional shakiness can add a lot. One thing to be careful of though, it always feels like you are getting smoother footage than you actually are. I can't even begin to count how many times I've taken a shot and thought it was great, only to watch it back and discover that it was horribly shaky. Some of the early music videos I shot, I thought I had some great footage until I got back to the editing room and I discovered that most of the footage was unusable because of shakiness. I had a very tough time patching together a workable edit and was glad for every single take I had to cut to. And speaking of lots of takes, film lots of angles. More angles equals more options when you edit. I'm serious about this. You will always be glad for more takes when it comes to editing. When you are shooting the close-ups, be careful about getting too close with the camera. The closer you get with the camera, the more distorted the face will be. If you want a really tight shot, use zoom instead of moving closer. A good rule of thumb is to always stay at least 3 feet away when filming. Compare the difference between this shot and this shot. My face fills the frame on both, but this one looks much more natural because the camera is 3 feet away instead of 8 inches on this one. When framing your shots, remember the rule of thirds. Generally, you want to keep the eyes on the horizontal top third line. When facing the camera, make sure you are centered in the frame. When angling right or left, make sure you are on one of the vertical third lines, always being sure to leave the extra space in front of you and not behind you. Once your filming is done, it is time to bring your song to life in the editing room. If you have a computer, use free software like CapCut, iMovie, or DaVinci Resolve. If you are editing on your smartphone, use Adobe Premiere Rush. Don't pay for software. There are free options that will get you going. Drop your footage in your software, line all the takes up to the song, and cut between the best takes. Now is when you will be glad that you have plenty of angles to choose between. Make sure that you make your cuts on the beat. This will help it feel as seamless as possible. Be very cautious of using all sorts of fancy transitions and fades. Well, they do occasionally have their place in a professional music video. Excessive use is a sure sign of an amateur video. Limit yourself to just a couple transitions per video. Make the rest of the cuts clean cuts on the beat. A quick tip that can spice up your tripod shots: use fake camera zooms to bring a bit more motion to your footage, or if you are using more advanced software like DaVinci Resolve, you can add an effect on the footage that will actually give it a bit of shake to make it look like it was handheld. Once you are done cutting between takes, you will want to color correct and color grade your footage to make it look professional. These are two distinct processes. Color correcting is simply making adjustments to exposure and white balance to make the clips look good and to match with each other. The goal is to make the footage look natural and consistent. Color grading, on the other hand, is where you get creative and give your footage a specific mood or look. Think of it as adding emotion and personality to the footage. If you are a beginner, the easiest way to do this is by applying LUTs or stylized filters, but eventually you will want to learn how to color grade manually so that you can get the exact look you are going for. How to do this is far beyond the scope of this video, but I plan on releasing some videos about that in the future. The hard work is now complete and you are ready to export and upload your video. Export your video as a .mov or .mp4 file. Be sure to set the export settings to the same as the footage you filmed. 4K 24 frames per second is ideal. Once your video is exported, upload it to your YouTube channel and share it with your friends. If you're serious about filming your own DIY music video, check out my free PDF guide in the description. If you want to learn more about DIY music making, then watch this video next.